First, I want to say thank you to everybody who came out here. Thank you to the elders for setting apart this time for us. It means a lot that we can come together with our church family and friends. First off, I'm going to ask, how many people know what this is? Apple. An apple, that's right. An apple. What's a famous saying that we hear about apples, or one of them?
Apple a day keeps you away from me.
There you go. Apple a day keeps the doctor away, right? So the phrase apple a day keeps the doctor away is a popular saying. It's suggestion that eating an apple a day can maintain our health, right? So how do we maintain our Christianity? Through prayer and through study. Philippians 4:6 says, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything, by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made and known to God." Romans 8, verse 26 says, "Likewise, the Spirit helps us in our weakness, for we do not know what to pray for as we ought. But the Spirit himself intercedes for us with groanings too deep for words." Psalm 34, verse 17 says, "When the righteous cry for help, the Lord hears and delivers them out of all of their troubles." So maintaining our Christianity through prayer, we don't need to be anxious when we do it. We need to do it with thanksgiving. We need to pray when we are weak, even if we don't know what to pray for. God knows what we need and hears us. When we cry out for God for help, when we have troubles, he hears us. Another way we can maintain our Christianity is through study. Matthew 4:4 says, "It is written, man does not live on bread alone, but on every word that comes from the mouth of God." Colossians 3:16, "Let the word of Christ dwell in you richly, as you teach and admonish one another with all wisdom, and as you sing psalms, hymns, and spiritual songs with gratitude in your hearts to God." Joshua 1:8, "Keep this book of the law always on your lips. Meditate on it day and night, so that you may be careful to do everything written in it. Then you will be prosperous and successful." So to study, we know that we can't live on bread alone, right? We have to study, we have to dwell on it richly, we have to live on it and meditate on it day and night. We can't just open our books on Wednesdays and Sundays. What's another saying about apples? Not everybody at once. All right, that's our final point. What's another one?
Doesn't fall far from the tree.
The apple doesn't fall far from a tree, right? So the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. It's a suggestion means that children often inherit traits, characteristics, or behaviors from their parents. It suggests a strong resemblance between the parents and their offspring, both in terms of personality and other qualities. The Bible outlines several key principles for Christian parenting, emphasizing the importance of training our children in God's ways, modeling a godly life, providing for their physical and spiritual needs. Parents are to guide their children towards faith in Jesus, teaching them about God's love and principles of the gospel. Additionally, parents should be mindful of our own behaviors, ensuring that we are not provoking our children to anger, but rather than fostering a loving and supportive home environment. Children are a gift from God. The Bible views children as a blessing. Psalm 127, 3-5. "Children are a heritage of the Lord, and the fruit of the womb is his reward. As arrows are in the hand of a mighty man, so are children of the youth. Happy is a man that has a quiver full of them. They shall not be ashamed, but they shall speak with the enemies in the gate." Parents are to live in a way that reflects their faith and values, showing their children how to follow God's principles. 1 Timothy 3:1-7 says, "This is a true saying. If a man desires the office of a bishop, he desires a good work. A bishop then must be blameless, husband of one wife, vigilant, sober to good behavior, given to hospitality, able to teach, not given to wine, no striker, not greedy of filthy lucre, but patient, not a brawler, not covetous, one that ruleth his own house, having his children in subjection with all gravity. For if a man know not how to rule his own house, how shall he take care of the church of God? Also, parents are warned against provoking and exasperating their children, but rather to encourage them in a way that builds their faith and characteristics. And also, children, we are to love our parents and honor them and respect them. Ephesians 6, verse 4 says, "Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Honor thy father and mother, which is the first commandment with promise, that it may be well with thee, and that thou mayest live long on the earth. And you fathers, provoke not your children to wrath, but bring them up in a nature of admonition of the Lord. Servants, be obedient to them that are the masters according to the flesh, with fear and trembling in the singleness of the heart, as unto Christ, not the eye service as men pleasers, but as the servants of Christ, doing the will of God from the heart." Exodus 20 and verse 12 says, "Honor thy father and thy mother, that the days may be long upon the land which the Lord God giveth." Now, last point, Brother Harold shouted it out kind of early for us, but one bad apple spoils a whole bunch. One bad apple spoils a whole bunch means that a single person's negative actions or influences can negatively impact the entire group or situation. It implies that one bad individual can disrupt the positive atmosphere or effectiveness of a group, similar to how a single rotten apple can contaminate a whole bunch of good ones. 1 Thessalonians 5:11, "Wherefore comfort yourselves together and edify one another, even as also you do." Paul describes here that friendship should look like comfort, should love and edify one another. Proverbs 27, verse 17, "Iron sharpens iron, so man sharpeneth the conscience of his friend." Ecclesiastes 4, verse 9 through 10, "Two are better than one, because they have a good reward for their labor. For if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow. But woe to him that is alone when he falleth, for he hath not another to help him up." John 15:13, "Greater love hath no man, that is a man that lays down his life for his friends." Proverbs 22:24 through 25, "Make no friendship with the angry man, and with the furious man thou shalt not go, lest he learn his ways and get a snare of thy soul." James 4:4, "Ye adulterers and adulteresses, know ye not that friendship to the world is enemy with God? Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is enemy to God." And 1 Corinthians 15:33 says, "Be not deceived, but evil communications corrupts good manners." So with these points here, we've talked about we should maintain our Christianity through prayer and through study. We have to continue to do that. We should inherit our traits from our parents to be good Christians. And parents, we have to be good examples for our Christians to get to heaven. And we also have to choose our group wisely of who we're with and who we're around. And be careful not to be pulled in by worldly people. That's all.